once again, all of my internet friends. Welcome to another episode of the Listen to Your Parents podcast. I'm your host, Matt, joined by my two favorite people in the whole world, my cousin Chris and his wife Elena in Buffalo.
Is this an intervention? What's happening right now?
No, everything's fine. Cousin, I cut you off. We've literally just sat down and faced one another. So where were you? Were you telling me something? New York. No. I mean, like, where were you in the conversation?
Oh, about candy bars.
Yeah.
So we were wondering if you would be handing out Elena's favorite.
Nutrageous. Reese's Nutrageous. They were really important around like the 98 to 2002 era. And now you can still buy them, but they just aren't out anymore.
So you could still get the Nutrageous? I thought that was long discontinued.
You can on Amazon. I mean, they might be from 2002.
I think people are putting them out of their warehouses or something.
So circle back for me. All right, this is a classic 90s candy, probably a late 90s candy. I'm gonna assume there's nuts in it. What is the Rageous composed of?
Okay, so this is like the best part of a candy bar all put together. It's got this peanut butter nougaty core surrounded by caramel and then dipped in like a chocolate peanut butter cluster, like a chocolate peanut cluster, and you bite in it and it's perfection.
How do you describe a sunset?
It's so good.
I mean, it's got light rays in it. I mean,
who makes this? Who makes this candy bar? Is this Reese's?
Obviously.
Okay.
They're the only ones that can do peanut butter candy bars.
Sorgi, I'm gonna need you to grab that last little bit that Elena just said. Take that video clip. I want you to add Reese's to it, and I want you to tell them that we just found the narrator for their new Nutrageous commercial. Because that was exquisite. I am ready to go out and find some Nutrageuses right now.
Oh, it's amazing.
So she gets crazy around this time of year, and the candy will come in, and she'll be like, "Give it to me."
I go through all the candy bars.
She's looking for it, and she's like, this bag has no Nutrageous. Now here's the craziest part. She invests to be known as one of the best houses on the block for giving out candy. We give out full-size candy bars.
Of course we do.
She's no stranger to purchasing candy. She's no stranger to searching on the internet for things. Why she doesn't just go out and invest in her own Nutrageous bar?
I gave them away last year. I did. I mean, I kept most of them, but I did give a couple away.
And the kids were like, "What's this?" The late 90s.
You gotta find it.
It's so
you
good.
do know that giving
very similar to a Babe Ruth, I would say, but instead of just the nougat center, it's peanut butter. It's just amazing.
You do understand that giving out a candy bar that peaked in the late 90s is like
shady.
It's like you and me and cousin received when we were trick or treating, receiving like the only thing that comes to mind is a Werther's Original, just because that's the most grandparent candy of all time. But yeah, exactly. Hello, Josephine. How are you doing this evening?
We got bombarded here. I'm gonna have to replace her to the bed.
Yeah, replace her to the bed. We do keep
that. I reorganized the office because I got a new desk, but it also means now we face the door. So.
Yeah, tell me about this new desk. Is this the standing desk, right?
Yes. Why tell you about the desk when I can show you?
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness! For those of you only on audio, Sword taught me this trick. The camera is just ascending to the heavens. You're riding an elevator, and cousin is disappearing quickly. So
this desk is a Tesla desk.
I won.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was in a Tesla office at one time.
So, you know what? Since my youngest here, my 11-year-old, feels like yammering on. Mason, I was going to ask cousin this question since Elena already told us what her all-time favorite candy is. The very obscure Nutrageous. What is your all-time favorite candy? That got rid of him. See? All right, cousin. No, he's going to come back. He's bringing a visual aid. Because, I believe his grandmother in Erie sent a care package down of Halloween treats. And this is your favorite. What is it?
York?
The peppermint patty.
Peppermint patty.
The peppermint patty. Difficult to say, easy to eat. Although, even the minis, if you have more than like 2 consecutively, it overwhelms. It gets a little overwhelming. You think you want that many peppermint patties, but you really
I'm
don't.
not really a mint and chocolate kind of person, but for some reason I will eat the Andes they give you at Olive Garden.
Oh yeah.
Literally the only time I'll eat it.
Ask your mother.
When he said
Okay.
mini peppermint patties, what came to mind was the Junior Mints. I would go right now. I would eat through a small box of Junior Mints right now.
Not me. It's all about the peanut butter and chocolate.
All right. So, cousin, we've heard from your wife. We've heard from my son. So, what is your all-time number 1 of your power ranking, your candy power rankings? What's
I'll
number
tell
1?
you. You know what? I didn't think I was going to be able to conjure it up, but I'm going to say.
Wait. I want to try to guess it.
I don't know that you will because I don't get it too often.
Okay.
Because he doesn't eat any candy because he's a healthy
I'm
dude.
going Whoppers.
Oh, okay. Very good choice. Very good choice.
But I don't think that's what you're saying. What do you say?
Well, it's coincidentally very close to yours in the fact that it's got caramel, it's got a little crunch, and it's got chocolate, and it's the 100-gram bar.
Ooh, those are good.
Yeah.
But here's the catch.
Also peaked in the 90s, by the way.
We're showing a
It's
raise.
more prevalent than the nut rages today. I've seen 100 grand bars in the wild recently, and I also love the 100 grand.
I do too.
But, and maybe you'll agree with this, maybe not, this could get controversial. Would you go full size 100 grand or the minis?
I mean, I almost never have purchased or enjoyed a full-size 100 grand bar. Only during Halloween when you get the minis
Yeah.
and you eat those, and that just feels, that just feels like the right portion.
Yeah, but I'm
I'm
telling
not
you.
talking about the fun size. Fun size would be too small, but the
No,
mini
that's not
size.
fun size. They didn't have fun size technology back
There are
then.
no fun size 100 grands. Not in the 90s. There was no
There-
fun
I
size
thought
back
there were
then.
two, like,
They are, but I swear when you get them individually wrapped, they're either fresher or small or something. They got better caramel to chocolate crisp ratio. So
it's like my Kit Kat thing.
it's like your Kit Kat thing.
I have a Kit Kat
Go to
thing.
Canada if you want a Kit Kat proper.
It's true. Actually, we have now started manufacturing.
Tell them what the difference between. Okay.
So, like, you get a Kit Kat, and I find I don't like the wafer to chocolate ratio in the 4-pack. It's just, it
The
doesn't
normal
do it.
Kit Kat.
It doesn't do it for me. Like the regular Kit Kat that you've known your whole lives.
Mhm.
Well, then those celebrations came out. Like they're all these mini ones. It was like you get a celebrations pack of chocolate at Christmas, and it came with Milky Ways and Snickers and Kit Kats. But those Kit Kats had like more wafer and thicker chocolate. I actually have an example I'll have to bring to you, and it is actually the perfect ratio of chocolate to crunch. Whereas the other ones are just too thin and they don't do it for me. So I would like not eat a regular Kit Kat. But I
Have
would.
have you ever tried the highly controversial Big Cat bar
So
that makes
actually-
you feel like a little kid again when you eat it?
Actually, Keith, Chris's brother, your other cousin, brought me back one of those massive big Kit Kats from Europe, like 7 years ago or 8 years ago. And I was like, you are the best. Like, that is the best gift you could possibly get me because I like the bigger Kit Kats. It's really funny. But yes, I do have a thing about Kit Kats. I'm picky. If I'm going to eat candy, I want to eat the candy that I enjoy the most.
That's where I'm at. If you're gonna eat candy, eat the best candy. That's kind of like my same theory when I'm drinking, pop or soda. If I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink a pop. I'm not gonna get a diet pop. I'm drinking fully
I mean, you might
loaded.
as well just enjoy it fully. And,
Yeah, I'm gonna get the maximum destructive properties, but I'm gonna get all the benefits too. Of
Sure.
which there are nearly none. Cousin, I was going to try to circle back to this while you were out of the room, but I was going to circle back to the Whoppers discussion because not only is that a favorite of yours, but my wife, I believe if she were sitting here next to me right now and not growling our child, that she would tell you that the Whoppers is perhaps her favorite candy as well. But I must tell you, when it comes to the Whoppers, is many people do not like the Whoppers because the Whopper is a bit of a game of candy Russian roulette because you're either going to get a perfectly edible chocolate covered malted milk ball, right? That's what the technical term for that is, or you're going to eat a chocolate covered piece of gravel. Am I right?
There are the ones that are lower quality control. You're absolutely right.
I mean, I don't think anyone is picking them off the assembly line. I think they're just like, get all these through here into the chocolate bath, every single one. Every single one, like a chunk of rock ends up in there, and you just, how are you supposed to know? Like the similarities, they're so close to each other.
Because I got to tell you, you brought up another, I'll say, sore topic for me, and that is I'm kind of cringing at anything crunchy right now. I just chipped a back tooth.
No.
And it's back here. I'm going to the dentist tomorrow, right in time for Halloween. And if they give me some kind of temporary thing where I can't have my 100 grand bar, I might just lose it.
They are going to shut you down for a long time.
This was not good timing.
No, that's terrible timing. And I'm sure the dentists are happy because, they get to squeeze in one more big patient before the big rush, the big post-Halloween rush. I'm sure they get, whatever, if the parents, you must take the parent tax from the kids, Halloween candy. This happens. There are memes out there.
Absolutely.
We put one up on the Facebook
Absolutely.
group where it's like, I forget what was the meme we put up. Where's Sorg? He's not here to put it up. All right, it's okay. I think it was the fella who played Superman the last time and the Aquaman dude. But they're on the red carpet, and the one's looking very cheerful, and Aquaman is lurking. And the meme is just like over the Superman actor. It's just like my kid's Halloween candy, and over Aquaman guy as he's like lurking as if he's about to jump on him. It just says the dad tax. I mean, this is a real thing. I mean, either you're going to pay like mom's nutrageous tax or you're going to pay, the dad tax, which is just a ceaseless, for every day that candy sits in the house, more must be taken out. I mean, it's just like you're paying rent. Your kids are basically paying candy rent to keep their candy in your house, and you're just going to keep eating it until there's nothing left unless it's the stuff that nobody wants. Which interestingly enough is always the Baby Ruth in our house. The Baby Ruth is never eaten.
Interesting you said that. I was about to say that last year or the year before, I don't remember, Dominic was trick-or-treating like after hours with a friend of his, and a friend of his and mom and I were walking kind of behind him, and they went up and they trick-or-treated and got their candy, and Dominic runs back to me. He's like, Mom, he's giving out Baby Ruths. You better go trick-or-treat yourself.
Did you try that?
So my friend and I, we go up and we ring the doorbell. We're like, trick or treat. We hear you have Baby Ruth.
I heard you got the Baby Ruths up here. Is it true? Yep. Here we go.
So they gave me like a handful and it was amazing.
Let me ask you about another trick-or-treating phenomenon that I only recently discovered once we moved into this neighborhood that we're in now, and that is the friendly neighbors, of which there are sometimes just a handful who are handing out beverages for the adults who are out on the town. Is that that's your house? Okay.
Yeah. We have hot cider and some rum in it usually. Yeah. For those that we know, obviously we're not just handing it out to randos, but
yeah, for sure. Oh, hey, as we've said here many times as we discuss our drinking habits during lockdown, pandemics, etc. We are grown men and women. We are experienced in our alcohol consumption. We've been doing this for a long time. We know what we're doing. I think I know what the acceptable amount of an alcoholic, what the acceptable volume of a roadie is for me to still continue to responsibly supervise my kids as I'm walking down the street on Halloween. I can handle a light beer while I'm walking around. It's going to be all right.
Absolutely.
It's like 4th of July. You got fireworks and drinking. I mean, that's worse.
Yeah. Speaking of ages, actually, Chris had a birthday last week, and his drinking age now became the legal drinking age.
So you doubled up, yeah. Spend as much time drinking as you spent not drinking. Okay.
Exactly.
I like to say that I'm the age of the answer for The Life, the Universe, and Everything, Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And if you read the book, he finds out that the answer to the question, what is the answer to life, the universe, and everything, the computer comes back with the answer of
42.
42. That's the answer.
It's always a surprise.
He's a cheeky man, Douglas Adams. So that's me now. It's my favorite number actually now.
So do you bring your own beverages on your trick or treat walk, or do you usually get served at each neighbor's house?
did not, like I said, this is kind of a new phenomenon for me. I was not even expecting it the first time it happened. We were just like trick or treating, and then like we rolled up to this one house, and it was one of those situations where it was like one house with like both, like the three homes had coalesced into a single driveway, and
Sure.
they were all out there with their single tables, and then in the back they had like another, and then in the garage, you could see them back there. And they're like, hey, what's going on there? Hey, what's going on? And they're like, hey, come back. And they're kind of like waving this can in the air. And I'm like, that's a beer. I'm going to go back there and get it. And I was like, this is fantastic. This absolutely is the right idea. This is what should be done. Be good neighbors. We don't want every house in the neighborhood handing out a drink. We just need a handful,
It makes those cold, rainy nights go a little bit smoother.
Yeah,
they're always cold and rainy. Can we have one not cold, windy, and rainy day?
Well, it's been cold and rainy around here, and I think everywhere else on the face of the earth this week. I was so optimistic that we would have at least a few minutes of clear skies and dry weather that I could go outside. Jen and I were like, we can go outside. Our son has gone absolutely bananas, as he does every year. Our oldest in the front yard just created, the mother of all Halloween setups, and we just want to kind of, use that as kind of a backdrop for the show. But it's rained, misted, sprinkled, every damp, uncomfortable, moist weather condition you can imagine has presented itself this week. So at some point we'll try to put a little image up there, but it's fantastic. He goes crazy.
We can't complain too much because it's still above freezing, and it really is the proper fall scary weather. And in fact, I think we even will have the moon agreeing this year around. I think it's almost towards the full moon. Yep.
If it's not going to be a totally full moon, it's going to be really close, and the kids will not be able to tell the difference, I don't think. So you can always add that. That should be part of the fun too. So what's going to be what's the trick or treat situation up there in your neck of the woods? Is there like an unofficial official thing, or is have they laid out some guidelines, or are the parents just like, screw it, the kids are going out? I mean, it's Saturday night night Halloween trick or treating. It must be done. There's no compromising on that.
About a month ago, our governor said that he would not cancel trick or treating. But then the city of Buffalo actually did cancel trick or treating a few weeks ago, and then this week,
there's a trick or treater right now.
This week, our township sent out a letter that basically said, like, we don't encourage trick-or-treating this year, but we know that you guys are still excited about traditions. So if you do choose to go out and trick-or-treating, do it between these hours and socially distance, wear masks, whatever. So they're not saying you can't. But the funny thing I found is that my township has never put a time window on trick-or-treating. Although all the towns around us do. Our town, the town of Amherst, hasn't really ever said like 5 to 9 or whatever. Yeah. And this year they finally did they said we're going out 6 to 8 is when like. So this year, when you want more distance and more space, you're going to say, everyone get it done in these 2 hours.
That's a really interesting thought. I never thought about kind of like about townships that might have this kind of like loose kind of rules on when it starts. Like down here where we live, out in the suburbs of Pittsburgh, it has always been 6 to 8. That's been the way it's been since I was a kid. And you would literally, you would wait for them. They would always test the fire siren at the firehouse at 6 o'clock. So you would wait for that siren to go off, and then like the kids pour out into the street. So it was kind of like, the runners on your marks, the starter shoots the gun and everybody just takes off. And then you've got your 2 hours. And of course there's like, you push it as far as you can, and, as the years have gone on, you see more people, waiting outside with the candy, which is nice because there's no question of, is this house still open? It's 8:05 or 8:06. They're still out there, and they're just like, here, kids, come take my candy. I don't want this candy. Take this.
Have people until 9 o'clock. I mean, it's never before 9 that people. I don't even think about closing my door until 9:30. But we got some hardcore. You got some hardcore kids, though. I mean, they go out there.
I want to come trick or treat in your neighborhood because it sounds like you've got like down here. like, my buddies and I were like, okay, we've got at most maybe like 2 hours and change to get this done before like literally in your mind, you're like, the cops are going to come down and just like push us off the street. The row of horses is going to come in and just like, we're going to be out. So you've got like, okay, we're going to start up this way so we can fill up the pillowcase, up around this loop. We're going to come back. We're going to get back to our house. We're going to dump it out. Then we're going to go down this street. We're going to loop back around that way. We're going to double back. We're going to stop at your house. We're going to dump our sacks there. We're going to go back out. We're going to loop back around there. And then if there's time, we're going to go to another place. We're going to see if there's crazy stuff.
If there's time. I think in Buffalo in particular, because it has snowed on Halloween, it's never if there's time. It's like when I'm too cold or when my costume is too wet, I will go in. I don't know. I've never even thought about a time limit. It's funny. Different places.
Yeah.
So what kind of precautions are you guys taking this year? Both for the handing out and for the retrieving the nutrageous bars and bringing them all back.
So our kids are going to wear masks when they approach houses, but I don't know, when they're walking around, I'm not going to make them keep it on the whole time. We were just talking about our own house. We just got an outdoor heater, and I think we're going to set up a table in the driveway, and it's easier to do with full-size candy bars than like mini candy bars because there's always like a multiple thing, but like full-size candy bars is like you get one. And it always drives me crazy. You get that kid that's like, how many?
One giant candy bar. That is, they're easy.
That one always gets me. I'm like,
how
really?
Nice. I'm like, whoa, he's like,
wait, how many should I take? Just the one. Just one. So because it's just one, we were gonna lay them out on a table by type so that they can grab them without having to hand them out. I guess.
I plan on sitting in the chair with a beverage of some sort, and then there's gonna have their choices on there. And I figured I'm just like yell it out, and I'm just gonna take one and throw it at them. It's gonna be very satisfying. Well, I was thinking like, why not make it like a
boomerang?
No, you throw it, and they have to try to catch it in their basket.
Sure.
And it'll be in the grass. So even if it falls in the grass.
It's like that meme we saw.
It sounds like you're just about to say it. This is going to be the newest phenomenon, I believe, during this Halloween. The trick or eat.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Pretty much
one of those words that the kids have come up with, cousin. So
pretty much sums up 2020.
Did you just leave like a sign on the sidewalk facing your house and just be like, be ready for trick or eat? 2 more steps, so they're all ready.
Stay on the sidewalk. We'll get it to you. Don't worry. You're just like,
just keep walking, and we're gonna try to lead you on that one and get it in.
I mean, you gotta think the kids should be in favor of this because it will only allow them to move.
They go fast.
You don't have to turn up a driveway. You just keep on going. Just hold out your.
They thank you as they're running away. It's not even.
Yeah. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. That's a better way to go.
So, the other way that we're talking about doing it that I don't think we just don't have enough ambition or energy this year, but we did see those news articles about using like a PVC pipe and
we talked about that before. Did you know, actually our neighbors were talking, they have a second floor window above their front door and they were talking about dropping a bucket down.
That's good. I'm thinking that, our house is set up in a way where I could do that. We could do that in our house. If we wanted to.
Like a bucket, you just like wheel it down and then you pull it back up, like treehouse.
Yeah.
I guess
you guys were not the only ones to mention the trick or eat because I kind of put out the word to like everyone who's been on the podcast over the past several months and just been kind of like, what are you doing? And we actually I don't know if you guys remember Lori and Dawn, but she said that we are totally doing trick or eat this year. We are just going to throw candy. I think Doug also mentioned maybe just like using a slingshot of some sort to project the candy out toward the kids. And what happens. I like, I was just gonna leave a bowl out and just kind of like not be there and assume that the kids will be, they'll be fine because we have many children to supervise on our trick or treating this year. So I don't anticipate that we're going to be home, at least not for the early part of the.
Well, you have a
2-hour window.
You have a Ring doorbell, right?
We do have a Ring doorbell.
Yeah, I was thinking of stalking the Ring doorbell and like if they go to take more than one, be like, "You're going on the list," like shouting at them through the door.
How many candy bars is that? We also have a we this is gonna be terrible because I don't have it here to show it off, but it's sitting in the other room. We found at an estate sale an old like skeleton prop, which we thought was cool. It was after Halloween. We got, let's get the skeleton prop. We bring it home. We find out not only is this a skeleton prop, this skeleton has a built-in speaker and a microphone attachment on it. And when you talk, this skeleton moves its mouth along with your voice. So, like, run that cable into a hidden room, exactly, turn on the Ring doorbell, and let the fun begin, basically.
That's amazing.
I am so socially distanced. I'm not even outside, yet I am able to scare the kids at will. It sounds fantastic. Hopefully we get to try it this year.
That kind of reminds me of that America's Funniest Home Video where the dude was pretending to be a scarecrow on the front porch, and he got up and scared the kid, and the kid punched him in the face.
He chose the fight portion of fight or flight.
Fight or flight. I had there was a Halloween where our oldest, the more enthusiastic about Halloween child, we got to one of these houses that is like, they are like a serious Halloween house. They've got, every, decoration, and not like the friendly scary, like the ultra spooky. The fog machines are going, you've got to like walk through like a very spooky, haunted, graveyard like scene to get to the porch, and then you don't know what's there waiting for you. It could be, I mean, there's a lady there, dressed as a witch, seems friendly enough, has a bowl of candy, but you don't know what else is coming. So our very cautious son, he sees this. What he doesn't see, at least not immediately, but as he gets starts walking down the path, he sees basically a refrigerator sized box just sitting off to the side. And, anyone, you and I, being adults and very cautious, can see this and be like, that is a man-sized box. There is something coming out of that. And I'm proud to say our son, he was no dummy. He saw this box. He saw the lady on the porch with the candy bowl, and he was like, he sprints full speed down the path, gets to the bowl. Like, she's like, not even saying, take a piece of candy, happy Halloween, and he's got like a piece, and he is booking it right back down the path. He's moving so fast that by the time this dude is dressed in a giant rabbit outfit, holding a chainsaw, okay? That was what was coming. That's scary, okay? That's worth avoiding. He didn't know what was in there, but this is what came out. By the time he's coming out of the box, Noah is past the box on his way back to the street, and he comes out with the chainsaw. He's like, yeah, there you go. Nowhere to be seen.
That's so funny.
Would you say that Noah cut it a hair close?
He cut it and ran, and it was a cut and run, and it was a hair close. I did get that. Thank you very much. You need those houses in your neighborhood too. You need the very, very spooky house.
We have one that's like 4 houses down, and the little kids, they're in second and kindergarten down the street. They're like, I think we're brave enough to go to that house this year. I
can't remember which one of our kids it was, but we went up to that house before, and it's a teenage kid. He's dressed all up and all that kind of stuff. And
Jason Max.
He tries to scare the older kids, and he's a really nice kid. We know him. And we went up there, and I can't remember who it was, but he ended up scaring one of the kids, and they ran away. And I just looked at him like, and he was like, sorry.
I like to hear like the kids like trying to figure out if like the house is worth it. Like they'll see like this also happens when this isn't a problem in Buffalo, but out here in the outskirts of Pittsburgh, we got some hills, and you got some houses that are on some. So we have a house that is like the house is on the top of the hill. The steps are like this angle. You got to do this thing, and the kids are up there just like trying to work it out. Like, what's she giving out? Is this worth it? Do I need to go? How scary is this gonna be? Is it a full-size bar? Are there Reese's cups up there? Or is it just gonna be like something I don't even want? Like, am I gonna get like whatever terrible candy they used to give before everyone got in line?
I don't know.
I
There's
always
still
like seeing that, working that out.
They're giving out the hard candies that have not jasmine. What's
oh my God, lavender.
lavender?
Oh,
Yeah.
Those. That would be.
I just saw that meme of those
No.
those like little nougat ones that are like they were described that like they're made out of cement and taste like butterscotch or something, but they don't even, they're just in wax. You know what I'm talking about? Those little like wax circle things. They don't even have a name on them. I don't even think they have like I couldn't even tell you what brand of candy they are, but apparently somebody makes them and they're not proud of them, so they don't put their name on them.
Yeah, that is odd, isn't it? That's very strange. I don't think you'll see many of those unique candies this year. You're going to see a lot of straight up, just here's your candy. I've seen some people talking about, like they're going to double bag. Not only you get your candy bar, you're going to get it like in a baggie. So they're going to like double seal the candy. It's all good. I think everyone's going to take the right precautions. I think I was almost saying this. Like I was going to put out, just the bowl. Then I heard about the table method. I'm like, a table sounds even better. So we're going to just take the next step and make sure everyone feels super comfortable and super no regrets. We don't want any Halloween regrets.
I mean, I feel like we can definitely handle Halloween without being a really big opportunity to spread germs. Like I feel like you can wear a mask and gloves, whatever. You can do whatever you need to be safe about it.
If people are worried about the candy, obviously you can even transfer the candy. Even if you coughed all over it, you could put it in
your garage for a week.
2 days.
2 days.
I mean, you maybe take a couple pieces out and you spritz it with your Clorox or whatever so the kids can have it. I don't know, but my point is if anybody's super crazy about it, just wait 2 days.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like when people were even suggesting the possible, no trick-or-treating on Halloween, I was... I feel like I'm trying to be pretty cautious, but at that point I was like, I'm putting my foot down. Like, people, we can do this. We can do it. Yeah. This is not beyond
what
could they do this safely.
What could they possibly do though? Like, what's the illegal component of this? If I go out on a random day and I knock on someone's door and say, "Do you have any candy?" and they go, "Why? Yes, here you go." They wouldn't stop you from exchanging the candy.
Yeah.
So it's like there's really no grounds to ever even stop
That's
it.
True.
It's not like you're congregating.
I mean, protests are allowed.
Well, I mean, I guess they could put on a curfew for one night, so they would have to actually actively pull in a state of emergency and say we are shutting down. They could do that. Yeah. They could say you're not allowed to go out tonight at all.
That's true.
That would be pretty heavy duty.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ready to pull that.
And
trigger.
Why?
And for what?
And why?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, lawless trick-or-treating even better than regular trick-or-treating. It just feels right. So
this is what this year is for. Is this?
I have a friend who's lives in kind of a rural area, and her kids go to a private school, and they have 2 different cohorts that are completely separate. And they decided, one of the moms tried to arrange like a trunk or treat type thing where they went to a parking lot and everyone had candy. Well, then one of the parents complained that the whole reason that they have the 2 separate cohorts is so that they never see each other.
Oh, cohorts being
like one group that
Tuesday.
is no, well they go 5 days, but they're just in 2 different classes, so that there's like minimal spread. They split them up more.
Gotcha.
And so now they can't even do that. I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of silly.
It's a little overreacting.
It's a little bit much.
Well, I hope it goes well for you. It's gonna be crazy for us. Not only are we gonna have our 2 boys. I said we're gonna have a lot of kids in our party because we are not only gonna have our 2 boys. We're taking out our niece and nephew.
Yay!
Because my younger sister has a friend who, for some reason, is deciding that like Halloween is the day to get married. That is the day, and not only is that happening this year, but this happened to my same sister, another friend, last year. So this is back Halloween weddings, to which I say, who are these friends of yours? But anyway.
Well, my niece's dad is getting remarried on Halloween as well. So they'll be trick-or-treating with us. So it's kind of a similar situation.
It is the season, apparently.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So we're gonna, I mean, they are much younger. They're 3, just over probably close to a year and a half, maybe getting there. Anyway, we're gonna have a wagon.
Transport. That's a whole different
A wagon,
strategy.
regardless. You always bring the wagon. My kids are super old, and I still bring the wagon because that puts the booze and the candy in. So you have
Maybe
to carry, and the raincoats,
umbrellas,
and all of it.
Yeah.
and you just dump your candy
Just
right
put
in
it all
there.
right in
Except
the
for-
wagon.
Except for the certain candy bars go into my pocket. And
Exactly.
See, again, the terrain difference between Buffalo and Pittsburgh. I mean,
the reason though that you
pulling
don't
a wagon around the streets of Buffalo or the streets of suburban Buffalo, no big deal.
imagine in general, the average size of your quads and calf muscles in Pittsburgh must be at least 20%
bigger,
greater than those in Buffalo.
more muscular, not just fatter.
No,
like
more
Buffalo
muscular.
is fatter, but
No.
yours are more toned.
My legs are pure muscle. I could lift a house. I mean, there's no doubt.
The best part about Pittsburgh, and this is like every house, I think that you can go out of the way if someone somehow put a house on flat land, is you can walk in through the front door, and then if you wanted to, you could go down the basement, and that turns into the first floor on the backside. And it's like you can walk in here, go down the basement, and then walk out there. I mean, it just blows my mind every time. Is your house like that?
I don't think so, but you can definitely enter from the. I mean, we've got front door, we've got side door. And then, of course, because we're on the slope goes like this. So if you go down a floor, yes, you have back door and you have garage down there.
That's your base. That's my point. You don't have. Do you have a basement? Don't you have a basement? That's the whole magic of Pittsburgh. That's every house in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It's just normal for you. You don't even see. You're like,
I don't think there's nothing weird about it to me.
My basement, and then I go out the door. I mean, for you, that's normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all normal. That 2-hour Halloween trick-or-treating hours for only 2 hours, totally normal. That's just the way it is here. But I'm jealous. I want to come to Buffalo now and trick-or-treat with all of you for 5 hours. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, but then you go in the basement and someone shuts the door on you, you're just trapped. Like you have no other way out.
You'd be like, oh, that's no problem. I'll just go out. Where's the door? There's only no door.
That was came from the basement. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, it sounds like everything's going to go great for you guys. I'm sure it'll go great for everybody else. It's going to be fantastic. Saturday night Halloweens are the best. So it's getting close to 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. So I must bid you all adieu. And thank you very much for coming on and talking to me endlessly about candy and trick-or-treating and everything else. This was fun.
Oh, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Indeed. Happy Halloween to everybody else. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter also, and subscribe to the podcast and all the other fine podcasting products from Sorgatron Media. Sorgatronmedia.com. Go check it out. Thank you very much, Mr. Sorg, for manning the buttons tonight. Enjoy your cross-country journey that you're about to embark on. I'm sure there will be nothing that goes wrong as you attempt to reach the Pacific. So that's all for us tonight. And to all the parents out there, I say thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you around. Bye.